My name is Kathryn Fishman-Weaver. I'm the Academic Director at Mizzou K-12. I'm also a mother, a writer, and an educational researcher. My research looks at social-emotional needs in general and courage in particular. Courage can look like many things. Sometimes it's a comment, a piece of art, a personal story, joining a new club, choosing to participate, choosing not to participate, or even saying to someone, hey, I could use some help with this. In the following talk, I want to outline some of the lessons I've learned about courage and share why I believe we need to encourage courage in schools. What is courage? Often we mistake courage for physical strength, valor, power, and guardedness. It turns out these things have little to do with courage. Courage comes from the Latin word cor, meaning heart. Brené Brown, a social work scholar and vulnerability researcher, reminds us in her work that courage is a heart word. It literally means of the heart. In my work with students, we sometimes talk about this as making the difficult but right choice. Taking the step that our conscience tells us to do, but that our heart says, whew, this is going to be hard. Telling a classmate that his joke isn't funny, it's offensive. Leading a class discussion after a tragedy. Comforting someone who has lost a family member. Sitting down to take that calculus test. Life is a series of these moments. Negotiating them with grace builds up our emotional strength, something I call strong vulnerability. It is inherently difficult to speak truth to power, truth to bullies, truth to self. When we take the risk to make the hard and right choice, we see great rewards, including stronger connections, safer schools and communities, and more courageous peer groups. When courage becomes part of our school culture, courageous acts are contagious. The reason courage is an emotional experience is because it's closely related to fear. In schools, we want to limit fear of ridicule, bullying, and exclusion. However, we don't want to limit awe. We want students to lose themselves in a work of art, to stand amazed at the global connection surrounding contemporary issues like water quality or access to education. We want their pulse to quicken before they say something brave. Further, we want to normalize the emotional experience of being courageous. Young people need opportunities to become proficiently courageous. Why do we need courage? The short answer is that challenge is unavoidable. The longer answer is courage is the force that drives our world forward. Quite simply, the major problems can't be solved without it. We all face a wide array of challenges. We face personal challenges, such as an ill parent or a tough soccer game. We face school challenges, such as peer pressure and high-stakes assessments. We face community challenges, such as violence and littering. We face global challenges, such as war and hunger. Sometimes the challenges we face are outside of our control. However, how we respond to them is always within our control. Further, we can all learn strategies to respond more effectively to the challenges we face. These strategies include self-care, strength, vulnerability, compassion, connection, courage, and a healthy dose of creative problem solving. In my last study, I found 3 related concepts were necessary for healthy affective development. These are courage, connection, and self-care. This brings me to another concept my students taught me. It's a phenomenon we called the precipice experience. The students I worked with often used the precipice as a metaphor for that emotional state we experience when we are about to do something really big. When I first started this research, I was so naive. I wanted to lessen the amount of struggle my students experienced. I wanted to make life less scary. I now understand that a healthier approach is to help students develop the heart strength they need to respond to scary things with courage. Of course, there are still struggles I absolutely want to lessen. I want us to increase inclusion and equity. I want us to promote positive social change. And yes, I'm still a little naive about how quickly we can all make a profound difference. The more personal challenges, though, the hard stuff that students and all human beings have to go through, is often what gives us a reason to grow. Think about the difficult essay you have to write, the difficult friendship you have to navigate, the difficult experience of learning and connecting in another language. The list goes on. When we face these challenges with heart strength, our hearts grow stronger. I believe the world needs more of this. We do not always get to choose the mountains we climb or the precipices we come to on that journey. However, we can choose our outlooks and our action plans. I want young people to feel in control of both of these. Sometimes the challenges we face are well outside of our sphere of influence. Sometimes life is unfair. In these moments, more than ever, we need courage, connection, and self-care. How many class discussions do we have about agency, empathy, and compassion, including self-compassion? My guess is not enough. While I value all you've learned in school about mathematics, English, social studies, science, and health, the most important lessons you've learned aren't bound to any of these subjects. The most important lessons you can learn are about responding to challenges and connecting with people who are different from you. It isn't easy. The best lessons are never easy. We all deal with difficulty. As we do, we need to respond from our heart, meaning with courage. We need to give each other permission to lean into our emotions, to feel deeply, and to find the strength that comes from within. Being a teenager, raising a teenager, and teaching teenagers all requires heart strength. Imagine schools where students are taught to respond to adversity with strength and love. In such schools, I believe we would experience healthier and stronger relationships and bolder, more effective solutions to problems. Courage is simple. That doesn't mean it's easy. Heart strength is a radical concept. Often radical acts are disguised in everyday moments. Sharing a sandwich, learning to say hello in a new language, holding someone's hand. We can shift the tectonic plates of our worldview by trading distance for proximity, risking comfort for connection, reaching out a hand to someone very different from us and loving them with such genuine simplicity that the world bends toward grace. And of all the skills we practice in schools, courage and connection may be the most important.